everyone. Today's topic is FIR filter. Now we have completed IIR filter. IIR stands for infinite impulse response, but FIR stands for finite impulse response. FIR stands for finite impulse response. Okay, this is the first thing. Now the next thing, we know that FIR filter is having transfer function like you can say Hz equal to summation of Vk z to the power minus k, where n is equal to 0 to n. Now this is the transfer function of finite impulse response filter. We have discussed this, and here we know that only the pole part are present here. Okay, sorry, only the zeros are present here, no poles. Now as only the zeros are present, the design technique of FIR filter is using optimization. That is, there is no direct formula available. You have to start from scratch. And what generally we do for designing of FIR filter, we go for frequency response. Suppose I have to design a low pass filter. I am having a particular desired frequency response Hd e to the power j omega. Okay, so I am having a certain frequency response Hd e to the power j omega. This is my desired frequency response. Now, from this desired frequency response, we to design a FIR filter, what we do, we take inverse discrete Fourier transform and we get the impulse response from it. Okay, in time domain. We come to time domain, and this is basically ranging from 0 to infinity. So it is an infinite impulse response. Okay. Now applying certain technique, certain windowing technique, we can make it finite. So we can make it finite using certain technique, using certain window technique. Okay, and if there is an error, we try to minimize the least mean square error, and then what we can change, we can only what I say, we can only change the window function, we can only shift the window function to get the better result, or we can try with any different window function to get better result. So this is the way where we actually try to minimize the error. This type of technique is known as optimization technique. So in FIR filter, we have to try for optimization technique. Now another thing is very important, that FIR filter is only applicable where we need linear phase. So what is linear phase? One thing I must say here, that in IIR filter, you all know that in IIR filter we have only used the magnitude for the Butterworth or the Chebyshev, what type of filter we are using? We are only consider the magnitude. Okay. So in case of IIR filter, we have no control over the phase. We haven't either tried for it also, because it has number of zeros, number of poles, that makes the whole thing critical, a bit difficult for us to have a control over the phase, and inherently the phase of a IIR is non-linear. But in some cases, in some like speech processing or data processing, you need to have a filter. You cannot you need a linear phase over there. Okay, linear phase over there. So at that context, you have to use FIR. You cannot use IIR because it cannot guarantee the phase, because you don't have any control when you are designing along with IIR. It is only taking care of the gains, not the phases. So for phase, we can able to control the phase in case of FIR filter. Though for a same purpose in FIR filter, as only zeros are involved, no poles are there, it requires a large value m. That means the value of m, suppose I am designing a second order filter, it may happen that the order of the filter, the order is this m. The FIR filter is having order of m. Now this m may be 28 or 30. It may happen. Because we are only taking care of zeros, naturally a large order, which is making the filter much costly. Okay, but if the requirement is linear phase, we have to use FIR. So this is the importance of FIR filter. So these are the important points to remember for FIR filter. Now we are going to know what are the structures of FIR filter, and a bit more detailing about linear phase, how we can able to know linear phase, etc. So what is linear phase? We know that the transfer function of a FIR filter can be written with, as I have written, with BK. BK stands for basically the coefficients. These coefficients are impulse response values. So I am substituting that BK with the value of Hn, where Hn is having its usual meaning, that is it is the impulse response. So BK is actually impulse response, value of impulse responses. Now n is ranging from 0 to, we have considered it as m, so z to the power minus n. This is the transfer function of FIR filter. Now, if we think of the impulse response, Fourier transform of that impulse response Hn, it will be h e to the power j omega. It will be equal to summation of n equal to 0 to m h of n e to the power minus j omega n, right? So this is the Fourier transform of this impulse response agent. Now the representation, if I represent this, it can be represented in polar form as it is having a complex quantity. So h e to the power j omega can be written in polar form in magnitude as well as phase angle. So this is the magnitude, and e to the power j, e to the power j, suppose theta is a function, this is the phase response. Okay. Now let us assume that the phase of the FIR filter transfer function is linear. That means this theta omega, we are considering it as linear transfer function, and we are writing that theta omega equal to, as it is having a lagging value, so we are considering it as minus alpha omega, where alpha is a constant, okay, and omega is ranging from minus pi to plus pi. Now, if we think of that, if we substitute this, if we divide this theta omega, this phase response with the frequency value omega, we will get this value minus alpha. Sorry, and if we take negative of it, we will get a value alpha, plus alpha. So this is called time delay. Okay, sorry, this is called phase delay. This is the phase. Okay, so what we are doing, we are actually taking the Fourier transform of the impulse function, and we are expressing it in magnitude and phase angle, and we are this phase angle is in the form of function. It is in the phase angle is actually changing with respect to the frequency. It's a function of frequency, and what we are doing here, we are actually taking now what is the phase angle? Suppose this value of phase angle is basically linear. This value is is dependent on it is having a slope of alpha, and it is going in this way. Okay, so now what we are going to do, now we are taking the negative value of it and divide with the value of omega, the frequency. So the what we are getting a value of a constant value. This is called phase delay. This is called phase delay of FIR filter. Now we should know another definition, that is called group delay. After that we can understand what is linear phase. Now if we want to get the group delay, we have to take the derivative of the phase delay. So what we are getting here, we can get that this is d of theta omega upon d omega. So our theta omega was nothing but alpha omega. So it should be the derivative so we have to put a negative sign here, and so it is becoming that this value is becoming alpha 2. So that means this is also becoming constant. So that means if when a signal is transmitted, suppose there is certain delay present in the system, and due to the system there occurs a delay in the output. Now the output phase, the response of the output phase, if the group delay is constant, that means the output is distortionless. But when the group delay is not constant, For LTI system, the output signal will be